Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Wednesday, so we're here with Coach Karen Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. California cover ups. We want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real
Hi,
estate
Fran.
entrepreneur and tech diva. She's on the road today. And we just want to say we're here and we're the Biz Chicks. So we want to welcome Coach Karen. Every Wednesday, she comes in and she shares nuggets with us about how to keep our money and our mind straight around our businesses. So today, she's going to share some wonderful things. I highly recommend that you get a pencil and paper, sit back, relax, and enjoy the value that she brings to this platform. Without further ado, I introduce to some and present to others Coach Karen Fern. How you doing this morning, Coach?
Oh, fantastic. The sun is out. It did rain last night, but it's all good because it was so hot.
Oh,
So we needed a little cool down. It was hot for the last couple of days, and I heard it's going to be hot again for the rest of the week. So we've been, yeah, some people put on the AC, some people are feeling cold, some people are like, take it off, put it on. Yeah.
wow. Well, while you're doing that, I think I'm going to start a watch party over here on Facebook.
Okay, good,
When
good,
you're
good.
looking at my phone, you'll know what's going on.
So while Terry's doing that, I'm gonna update you on what we did this month because this is the last week of the month. So we're just gonna briefly go over from the 15th. We're not gonna go from the top. This month we really talk about a lot about behind the scenes and systems. That we did that on the 15th. Then last week we talked about the characteristic of successful entrepreneur, and I had 7 points I wanted to share. I shared four last week, and this week I'll be talking about the other three. Last week we talked about self motivation. I'm going to go over them just so you understand. For who's joining us now on the replay, thank you for joining us. And the reason I'm repeating them is just to showcase to you where everything lies, where it falls. Okay. So number one was self motivation. Number two was understanding what you have to offer, and number three was task risk. Understanding how you can take risk, taking risk in doing certain things. And number four was networking. Now, today we're going to be looking at number five, six, and seven. And which is number one for this week, is basic money management skills and knowledge. Flexibility in what you do and how you do and when you do it. And last but not least, your passion. And why would we put passion at the bottom when everybody says follow your passion, do your passion? Because if passion takes over and you're in it, you forget about all the other things I talked about. So when you're not feeling passionate on certain days, you don't do anything. When
Wow.
you're not feeling like you want to do it, when you're passion, because passion flows, ebbs and flows, disappears and come back. And
Yes, it does.
if no matter how you're passionate about it, there's times where you just want to break from it. But when you understand that you're running a business, a company, whatever it is, you're an entrepreneur.
Well, can you hear that?
Yeah. What was that?
Okay, I'm going to mute.
I guess they're mowing the lawn. They love mowing the lawn when I come on Wednesday with Terry. I swear. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and chit chat with you guys. Yes, so you notice how passion come last because when you put all these things in place and you're in your passion place, you're okay. Because let's face it, if you're a sewer, a hairdresser, a crafter, any one of those things, or if you're just a writer, when you're in that zone, you can write for hours and you can forget about everything else. But if you set it up properly first, you get to be allowed to be in that time. So hopefully, and if you didn't listen to our previous recording last week, you can go have a look, listen, get updated. So when you hear this part, it'll make sense. It'll come together. All right. So since Terry has to be mute for a minute, let me step right in and step right up, and she'll come in at some point. And listen, it's summer, so she want to be outside and enjoy the weather. Okay, so who doesn't? I'm just telling them you want to enjoy the weather. That's why you're outside where you are and what have you. All right. So number one, today we're talking about basic money management skills and knowledge. This is a big one, guys. This is a biggie. Okay. You need to basically understand money and not. So, three big things. Don't hate on money. Don't allow yourself, right? It's an allowing. Don't allow yourself to feel shame of wanting money. And really pay attention with your habits and the usage of money. Because once you understand those things, it's going to help you to be really efficient in your business. Money management sounds big, but it's a simple, simple thing. And here's how simple it could be. Everything you buy for the month, you keep the receipts. If you bought something and it was for cash with no receipt, then your job is to get a sticky or whatever it is, and you are to write down what you bought and how much it costs. And then I want you to have, you can file it online, but physical is good. Okay. So you can do half and half. So you get one of those things. You can get them at a dollar store. Probably you guys have Dollar Tree if you're in the States. And it has every month of the year, and you slip all your receipts in there. And this is the beginning entrepreneur I'm talking to here now. And at the end of the month, you count it up so you could understand. Matter of fact, you categorize it. You can count the whole thing up, and then you can go back and categorize it so you can know where your heavy spending happened. And you can see if it's in line in what you want to do for yourself personally. Because those same habits, because you're the business owner, you're the entrepreneur, you're going to take those same habits into your business. And that's going to make your business either sink or swim. And we want your business to swim.
Yes.
And to have your business swim, you have to pay attention to your money. The numbers are very important. Even if they're frightening numbers, just understand it's just happening right here, right now, and you can change that. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to give you some examples on that. So this is probably going to take a chunk of my talk today because I really want you to hear me on this part of the money train. You have to pay attention to your numbers. So if you know that your household need $3,000 to $5,000 a month in income, then and you're making that money, then that's great. If you are knowing that you need five, but you're only making three or 3.5 or anywhere around there, then your job is to subtract the 5 from the 3.5, and whatever left over is what your first initial energy you need to work towards, is bringing it up to par to the number it needs to be. Don't worry about beyond that number you want to conquer. Whether it's because you're going to start a side gig, whether it's because your job will give you an increase, you need to get that number really, really straighten out and be continuous, not just one time, but continuous. Because what it does is build your confidence, make you feel good in yourself, and you get more productive because now there's a goal, there's things you're working towards. Okay, so you're doing that, but you're not doing it in your head. I want it down on paper or I want it on your computer. I want it there because I want you to have a place to go to. This is like a little mini job, if you will. So every morning I would want you to get up, and because you got your budget set now, because you did the month's work, and you go in and you look at your budget, you look at your bank account. You got to do these things. You got to be able to look at yourself. If you've never seen this, you can go to YouTube and check it out. People who do stocks, how they have the computer up and how they watch things happen. That's what you have to do. It don't have to be fancy. I'm not going to tell you about the fancy grids and all of that. Simple, 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 simple. How much I need to make every month, how much bills I need to pay, and itemize each bill, put the monies next to it, okay? And how much you really and truly bring in and how much you need to make up. That's the first step. I want you to go check it out. The other thing I want you to put on that budget there, that the simplest budget I'm talking about, is the unexpected money that you expect to receive. It needs to be there so that when it comes in, you can put the number down. Once you get to that number that you want to get to, now we're going to think about beyond, okay? Because I've talked a lot about planning way ahead. So that's not what this conversation is about. Hear me. The conversation is not about the plan ahead because we've done that. This conversation strictly is about understanding how your money management works at this specific time. And the reason we want to have eyeballs on your budget and on your bank account is because you get to see whether a bill was paid, if you have automatic payments, and you want to keep track of what you've stated, and if things change during the month, you want to get in there and fix that number so that at the end of each month you can see if you're doing better or you're falling back or you just stand still. So there's three things happen. You either move forward, you either stand still, or you're doing better. Okay, move forward or backward,
Okay.
and stand still, or you're doing better. And you really want to know these things. That's important. Okay, so that's your personal. Business now is the same flow. Is my business bringing in money every week, every fortnight, every month? If
Mm-hmm.
it's not, how often do I get every other month? Do I get every 2 months? Do I get twice a year? When you first see your numbers and you realize you only bring in money quarterly or twice a year, you're going to panic, you're going to freak out, you're going to go crazy in your head. Allow it to happen, relax, breathe, and then start talking to you about how you're going to change this picture. Because all it is about changing the picture. Don't get hung up on what happened before. Look at it, look at it for what it is, and then
Okay.
move forward into what you want to happen.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and what you don't know, go and learn.
Okay. All right.
I'm giving you the basics. What you don't know, go and learn, because there's a lot of pieces to it, but go and learn it. Go and learn. Go figure it out. Next thing is, now you got let's say you got yourself up to the 5,000, you're feeling good. You need to go back and look at your long-term goal to see what was the number you really wanted. If you had said, I want to make $1 million a year, your job is to go in to see how much is that you need per month to hit the million. And do I want to make $1 million gross per year, or do I want to make $1 million net per year? And
Mm-hmm.
you got to know the difference, because if you make $1 million, you're still not a millionaire, because you got to take taxes out of it. You got to take out whatever material or time out of it.
Wow.
You got to take all these things out of it, so you're really not a millionaire. So being a millionaire that year mightn't be feasible for you. You might have to say, I want to be a millionaire in 2 or 3 years, so that you're working towards that $1 million. And so you understand that. But if you really want to make the $1 million that specific year, then your job is to understand the net versus the gross, so that you know you have to make in net for the year. So if you don't know how to calculate a lot of things, you probably want to talk to a bookkeeper, an accountant, somebody who would help you with the numbers if numbers isn't your thing. And here's what I'm going to say about numbers not being your thing. It doesn't have to be a thing, but you have to understand them. You have to understand them, because when a bookkeeper or an accountant speak to you, they will talk to you. You have to understand what they're telling you so you can go and apply it.
Okay.
An accountant is great for the big picture, but a bookkeeper is better for the nitty gritty and keeping your books and helping you understand how things need to flow. Any business that's wanting anybody is, if you haven't already, I'll talk about that in a minute. But if you're brand new, the first thing to do is understand how much money you're bringing into the business, and have a bookkeeper either do it for you or talk to them about how you're going to do it, setting up your books so that you can know what's going to happen
Mm-hmm.
consistently. They do all the nitty gritty work, and then they hand it over to the accountant anyway. I can tell you this because I haven't been an accountant, but I work in I don't have my CPA, but I worked in accounts payable in a company at some point in my life, so I know how this stuff flow. And I am doing a refresh bookkeeper's course right now, and so just because I always want to keep myself updated. And one of the things I'd forgotten, which is crazy, but I did forget it. So I went back and I was looking at some things, and so now I'm always honest with people. I'm like, hey, I forget this. So here's what I'm learning and knowing now. I remember it again. Get this set up way in advance. And if you're in business already, take a step back and still go back. And as far as the memory will allow you, see what you have invested, see what you have said you're going to do with your business, and go back and get those set up rightly in your books, because it's going to only help you. That's
Mm-hmm.
what's going to do. It's going to help you.
Okay.
And
Well, I want to give a shout out to Sydney and Aaron and Linda. They're over here on the watch party. And we're
Hi, Linda. Hi, Derek.
talking about handling your money for business.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Brenda's in the house. How you doing,
Hi,
Brenda?
Brenna. Oh. All right. So that was the money piece. Okay, I'm getting into flexibility, but I'm still gonna carry over the money piece now. So
Mhm.
we're really talking a lot of money today. I don't usually come in with heavy money, but today is a heavy money day. I'm gonna talk about it because it's just one of those things that's gonna make you a successful entrepreneur. You have to be earning some money in your business. All right, so the flexibility part. Let's say you got this stringent budget. It's and I love a fixed budget and a flexible budget. So in the budget, let's say for example, you were paying hydro and you had it budgeted for 250 every month. And this month you only paid 209. Or you paid and the next month you only paid 179. Well, there's this extra money that's there. And it's not joy money. Let me clarify right now. That's we're gonna call that money cash flow. You're not gonna spend it, you're gonna put it in cash flow. Why do I want you to put it there? Because if the following month your hydro is now 290, you don't have to go find that $40. It's in your cash flow. Now you're going to use it. So we want to have cash flow. I love to have homeowners, regular people who has no business, run their homes like a business. Because when they do, when I teach them how to do that, they're never short of money anymore. They've noticed that they have cash flow. They have a play. If the car break down, there's money for the car. If the visa bill come in and they forgot they purchased something, there's money to pay it off in full, so the interest is not bearing. I love people running their homes like this, so that if at any point they decide to run a side business, they have the tools already leading them into business flow. And so that's part of the flexibility of your money. When there's extra, you want to put it in cash flow. When you need more, you have cash flow to go into to take it out. Okay, next part of flexibility in your business. When things happen. You might go buy something that's more expensive than you thought it would have been. Your job is to see if the tool, the software, the product, the material is needed this month. If it's not needed this month, then put up partial of the money this month and then next month buy it. That way you have enough money to buy the software, the product, whatever you need to buy. And I tell you this because I don't want you to get yourself in debt that you don't need to be in. So let's talk about computers because we all use them. Let's say your computer is working, but it's giving you a little bit of problems. Don't run and buy a brand new computer right away if the cash is not there, especially if you're trying to trim and get things in line and get your money right. I want you to plan on buying the computer. So you decide, is it going to take me 3 months or 4 months to get this computer? So everything you do is towards this journey of buying this computer. So that when you pull out your credit card and you buy the computer, as soon as the bill comes or a couple of days later, you could go pay for this computer. And that should be part of either your startup for your business or you've been saving it as a business expense that
Mm.
you're using so that you get to put it in the books as part of your business expense. So when come tax time, you get to also claim these things. If you're not paying attention, if you're not keeping track, you don't have anything to show or claim. And when your business could have been making X amount of dollars because you weren't paying attention, it's not doing that anymore. And it's just these little things that come in and go. I'm going to give you a case in point. Like one of my contracts in my auto business, my cleaning contract,
Uh-huh.
we were a bi-weekly service. Now we've gone up to weekly service. But because of the difference, they're like a close to 3 weeks behind in payment for us. And then on some of the account, there's like a $5 missing or 5 cents missing. Like, you know what I mean? So my job as a business owner is to send an email saying, hey, guys, I noticed there's, I think this one this morning says $5.05 missing here or $2 missing here. And I said, I know it's a small adjustment, but could you take care of this on the other invoice?
Mm-hmm.
We have to be diligent because 5 cents and $5.05 is not a big deal, but it's a big deal over time if you don't catch it. So let's say for the next 4 weeks, this keep happening, that'll be $20 and 20 cents out of my account. I still have to pay my workers and my employees, and how am I going to pay them? I'm going to pay them, yeah, but my business will start dipping into shortfall. But because I pay attention, because I'm watching on my numbers, I catch it quickly and I
You,
get it taken care
okay, numbers are not really a lot of people's thing. Okay. So it is really something to have to sit down and look at these numbers is there a way we can make this feel less stressful? I mean, I do it by rewording it and calling it, I'm working on my happiness plan.
Yes.
Um, how can we flip the script in our mind so that we actually become disciplined to the point where we sit down and watch the money in our households or the money in our businesses, the money in our nonprofits, whatever it is that we're handling?
I like to say find the joy in you. You know, if you love music, then put on some music, get yourself not the strongest wine or maybe just water, and just sit there and look at it as as something that's going to get you to the next place. The other thing is I like it's like if you're a person that's really against it, but you're a person who loves to travel, get some kind of a travel picture, stick it up on your computer so you can see the relation. When I have my money straightened out, well, this is how where I get to travel and go to. This is the benefit from doing the numbers. You know,
Okay.
if it's to pay for my kids' education, this is what it's going to help me do. If it's so I can live better or get help or get a house, a housekeeper or something, whatever gonna motivate you. Hi, Pat.
Oh, we're on Periscope?
Whatever's gonna motivate you to make you want to see the end game come out really good, because that's the goal. It's the end game is the goal. You remember, if you don't like numbers, mostly you're not going to keep doing this. You're going to pay somebody at some point. But
Uh-huh.
when you pay people, but you don't know, that's how they take money from you. Every person who have a lot of money and who has lost money is because they didn't know how to pay attention initially. It wasn't when the money become big, you know. It starts really small because an accountant, sorry to say that, but it's so true. The steelish ones and the ones in the bank, all they need to take from you is a dollar or 10 cents. That's it. Every transaction, if they just take 10 cents from you, I'm telling you, they'll be rich off of you. Enough clients, and you take 10 cents. It's so easy.
Mm.
But eventually, over time, they get greedy and then they take more than 10 cents from you. And that's where you hear people go bankrupt and they didn't know their money went down the drain because whoever were paying, looking after their books, were weren't communicating with the person, right? Because they knew the person didn't want to hear. And you, so let me state this also this far. If you are in business and you want to really accumulate and grow wealth, you can't have the attitude of I don't want to hear about money. This part I'm just going to be firm on. You have to want to know. If you don't want to know, you don't want to build your wealth. You can't say I don't want to know. But these are aids I'm talking about to help you get off the ground floor so that when the flow is happening, you know what to do. This is just to get you off the ground floor. If you want to be wealthy, you're gonna have to pay attention to the money. You have to know where things go. You have to pay attention to that 5 cents, that half a cent, because a half a cent is important in the financial world.
I got that makes sense because the decimal point can move. I just never thought of it that way. Also, a lot of us are bleeding money because we don't know how to turn off subscriptions and things that we have signed up for.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
every time we turn around, it's hitting our bank account. We're like, oh, I'll handle that next month. But
And then you don't.
yeah, it never gets done.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, you could be bleeding like 30, 40, $50 and up a month,
Oh,
depending
oh,
on
oh,
what you
oh,
signed
oh,
up for.
oh yeah, I've had people who has bled over two something per month in stuff that they don't use. I used to call myself a budget specialist, and when I sit down with people, I remember a lady saying to me once, "Why would I want to pay you? Like, I mean, I know what to do." And when she apologized up and down after after a session. She's like, "I can't believe it." She was losing anyway. It was about four something a month in things that she did nothing with. We found nearly $500 in her I know what I was doing account. By just sitting down, I said, it takes time. Remember, I spent time questioning you. We had like three sessions before she was able to be honest enough with herself, because it really wasn't me, to be able to tell me. And so that we can go in and not talk about it, but fix it while she's sitting next to me. Here's where you are. We're not waiting for you to go home and do it. We do it next to me. I mean, it's done. Because the question is, I'm going to use it later this year, but am I? And I wanted to make sure she was actually going to use what she said she was going to use. And here was the other part. If you didn't use it this year, but you're going to use it next year, pay for it next year. Even if they say that if you stay this year, you're going to get a better deal, you need to leave it and go back next year. You can next year when the deal, let's say it was $79, and next year it's going to be 99, so it's $20 more, right? And so in your head it's like 79. But if you took 79 and you multiplied by 12 and you didn't use it, actually paying $20 more the next year is still going to save you money than keeping the 79 and not using it. And so those are some of the things we have to sit and really iron out. Plus,
that's so real. That's like $800,
right? Okay, that's just one little thing that she was doing. The other part was, I said, if you were a long time customer, you just call customer service, say, hey, I've been with you guys for 3 or 4 years, I took a year break, could I get back my price? Look at my standing, talk to somebody, and usually they'll get you back to the 79 a month anyways. But you just save X amount of dollars.
Yep, Brenda says, yep, I deleted Amazon and Netflix, not a necessity. Yeah. The thing I do like about Amazon is Amazon Prime. I enjoy the video part of Amazon. So I haven't deleted that, but that Netflix and that Hulu, they had to go.
You only get what you need. If you needed it and you want to have it, it's fine. But for the people who have it, but they really don't use it, when I sit with them, I really get really nitty gritty picky because I want them to get to the bare bones to understand. Because especially if we're searching for money, if we were doing a session and we're searching to find money to get to this other place, I really want them to find the money. If I was telling somebody they're trying to find money to start a business or to grow the business or to develop an ad budget, then we have to go in there and find them the money. I want them to find the money because I don't want them to just pull out the credit card, do ad run, didn't make it because ad runs are funny. This is no, really, no matter how good you are, there is the time when you're just building awareness, then you're going in to find your people because now you're aware of the people you're looking for, because without that, it just is what it is. And then when that happened, and I've been running ads for over 10 years, so I know what happens with ads. You have to give the ad time. Everybody wants overnight, but it doesn't happen overnight. You're looking at a good 90 days running to really understand who buy, who don't buy, and what's happening. I'm not telling you people are going to buy within the 90 days, but I'm telling you that's the timeline you need to really allow for your ad to really see it working. And I'm telling you this through trial and error. This was newspaper time. And the first month, I get bites here and there. The second month, I could see it growing. And by the third month now, I'm good. And I'm seeing where I need to spend my money. And I don't need to run as often, but I need to run within this space and time so I can build up. I built my cleaning business strictly on ads. I decided I'm not going to look at anybody I know. I don't care who knows me. I'm just going to go run to strangers because I wanted to build a business, not offer in case somebody tell me somebody need clean. I needed to hire people. So I needed to have this going. So running ads takes time. Now, if you put it on your credit card every month, that bill is coming and then you don't have the money to pay it. So I help my clients to look and find the money first, so that when they're running the ad, they're not panicking. I hope somebody buy. I hope somebody buy. I hope they're not in that mood. They're in a clear, conscious mood that I am in service to people. And of course, they're going to buy because of the brilliant services I'm giving them. So now I'm not blocking with that energy going off crazy in my head. And I'm more relaxed and I'm more functioning. I'm writing properly. I'm getting things, whether I'm writing, baking, cooking, whatever I'm doing, I can do it. So. I get into my money zone, guys. I figured. All right. Right? I can see how much through there. Yeah. Now, Terry's typing to me. So in the meantime, I'll continue chatting with you guys. So number 3 was passion. Okay. And passion, we all know what that is. It's the thing you love to do, the thing you can spend hours doing, the things there's no time or day when you wouldn't do it because you're so passionate about it. I am passionate about money. I'm passionate talking about it, showing people how to spend it, how to make it make sense for them. Anything about growing it, that's totally a self thing in terms of investment. But when it comes to business and growing your money, I'm good there too. So because we have covered this stuff at the top, now you can work in your passion because you understand your budget. You understand how money come in and go out. You understand your spending pattern. You understand what excites you. Excitement makes you spend money. When you're excited, you go buy. When you're feeling, you go buy. You go buy. But when you understand your patterns, you could feel like buying, but not buy because you understand why. You can feel like celebrating. And I do this because I go crazy. I'm like, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to send money here. I'm going to give this person that. And then I calm right down. And I'm like, so really, what is it you're going to do? And then I do it. Because I understand that I need to get that part out of me because I'm feeling so joyous. And I want everybody around me to feel the same joy and celebrate with me. The truth is, they can't feel that joy because they didn't put in that time with me. They feel some sort of joy. And I have to be okay with them feeling it to a certain level, but not to the fullness as I would.
Mm. Okay. Wow. Wow. You know, this is so true. And I think about this because I was looking at my grandson the other day, and he got some money for, you know, some good grades. And the first thing he wanted to do was buy something for someone else. Now I love that he's generous.
Human nature.
That he's generous. But we have to, like you said, come back, center ourselves, and make sure that we've handled business 1st and then share the joy.
Yes, yes. My mom was telling me that, you know, somebody was on Shark Tank who um, put some of their money, I don't know, 50% into charity of the profits. Nothing is wrong with that. But unless you know your numbers, you can't do it. And they were thinking because maybe the business is not in the state where it could give 50% yet.
Oh my.
Maybe the business is in the place where they can give 20%, but not 50%. You see, if you know your numbers, you would know that. If you don't know your numbers, your generosity that I just talked about, which is great and fabulous, wouldn't keep sustaining the charity that you so love or you started. I had friends who had charities, who were owners of charities. And one of the big thing was with her, and I told her, and she came and said, I'm running my business. I said, Yvonne, we gotta do a 360. Initially, she said, Karen, I went home. I was so mad with you for 2 full weeks. Because when you give me those numbers, I was just mad at you. She goes, and then I spoke to my husband and he says, but did she make sense? And I said, yes. And he says, then go with your tail between your foot and go back to Karen and let her talk to you. I said, it's not a shaming thing. It's just that you can't do this if this is not coming in. If this is coming in, you're going to have to do this because you have to have the cushion. Business goes up and down, so you have to have that cushion. If you give all, then there would be nothing to run. Plus, the charity is going to suffer because this continuous thing can't happen. It can't flow anymore. You have to set it up in such a way that maybe you start off giving 100%, but then part of your charity should be where you beg for 50%. Yeah, that's what charities do. They beg for money. And so that you're covering 50. And then you want to get the charity to a place where it's funded 75% and you're only doing the 25% because you're running a business alongside the charity. And so you have to be able to understand this stuff. And one of the big things for her was she hated numbers. And I said to her, stay at work. Go to work, because she had a job. Stay there. Whenever you're ready, let me know. And she said, Karen, nobody have really come out and tell me they're so plain. And I was really upset with you because when I look back, I'd lost 3 houses, and that's because I wasn't looking at my numbers. I bought houses and lost them, and that's because I wasn't looking at my numbers. And what made me do is feel bad. It made me go back into those 3 houses that I lost. But it made me, because I lost my car. So it wasn't that I was being bad to her. It was just that I was bringing up old stuff, but I didn't know I was bringing it up by saying to her, you got to know your numbers. But it was good because she get to see, at least we get to sit down and sip out if she ever buy another home, what she's not going to do.
Wow. We got some comments over here from Al. Let's see what he's saying. Businesses are fun, when you want a challenge, says, what do you mean giving all? You were talking about giving everything earlier, away, just giving it away, giving things.
Yeah, like if you're talking about the exciting part, you want to give it away. Look at it this way: when you don't like numbers, when
Mhm.
you don't, for the people who say, I don't love money, I don't like money, I don't believe in money, all the language that you use encourage your mind to allow you to give it away. And it didn't matter how you give it away. So it could be because you bought stuff. It could be because you give it to family members. It could be because you make bad decisions. It really doesn't matter how it leaves you, it is going to leave you.
Because you gave it instructions to do so.
Yes.
Now, he's saying here, my numbers and keeping track of my goals. What about your numbers and keeping track of your goals?
Yeah.
Uh,
If
Al,
it's clear, I can understand. I don't understand the
yeah,
question.
we need clarification on that. Okay, so we're saying that you have to know what it takes to run your business,
You do.
preserve that,
Yes.
and then take a portion for yourself because you don't want to put yourself in money jail if you're running a successful business. But you need a reserve, and based on what we're going through right now, we should really understand. We should never have to talk about, do you have a reserve? Because here's a prime example of an unexpected situation.
Right now, I said this January before all this started. I came in here and I talked about budgets, and I said, "Here, I want you guys to have a yearly budget." Didn't I not come in and say that? This didn't happen yet. And the reason I was talking about it because when you understand how much money you need to actually, not when you're getting paid, not what your business bringing in, but when you understood how much money you need per year to run your household, you're golden. You are so golden because when you get that number, you're good. Now, over time, I love people to take that number and multiply by 4. You see what I did there? Multiply that number by 4. So if your household need $60,000 a year, you want to multiply that by 4. You got cushion. You're not in worry land. You're able to go to the doctor. You're able to pay for tests. You're able to get whatever is needed, if so be the case. And usually, when you're prepared, half of those things are never needed. But when you have nothing, that's when it's needed. It's like going to the bank for a loan. Every time you think about going to the bank for a loan and you have no money, you ain't getting no money. You got money, the bank want to give you more money.
Isn't that interesting? So
You're pulling because you're pulling. Whatever you're pulling, that's what's happening. You don't have, you pull nothing. You have, you pull more.
okay, so he's saying my numbers and goals. I have power, but would spending money give more access to what? Yeah, okay, that's true. Okay, so you spent in 2010 to 2012, I had funds to survive 2 years without work. That is excellent.
Excellent. Excellent.
And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. But that's your goal. Everybody's goal is different.
Mm-hmm.
If your goal is to have money for 2 years and then stop, then that's your goal. My goal is for my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, and my great great grandchildren. So I'm talking about legacy building. Once I build for me and my immediate and my extended, I'm looking at the continuum. So everybody's goal is different. And I'm not here. That's why I talk about money, but not only on it. I'm never here just to speak about money, money, money. I'm always here to speak on the overall money mindset, goal, legacy, all those things that is continuum
Mm-hmm.
in growing yourself. Think about a farmer. If a farmer were saying, I got money for a year or two and a disaster hit and all the money get wiped out in 3 months, he or she has nothing. It's not easy. My dad was a farmer. And it's not an easy task because they've had vast land and it costs a lot of money. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of money. And when the banks say yes to those farmers, it's because the bank is going to take their land because they know they can get back there in time. Because when a big thing happened, it could take all 3 to 5 years, my dad said, to recover.
Cover, yes.
And when you're in that mood, your mind can't even come consider because you're grieving. He says it's debt. You're grieving, and you make bad decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not
Well,
making the decision that you would make if you had if that disaster didn't hit.
Cushion, yes.
Yeah.
So
So if you when you're in work mood or you got a little bit itty bitty, and I'm not listen, this is not me saying anything bad about anybody. This is just facts because I've been very, very poor and I understand the state and what it does to the mind and the whole body feeling. I say this all the time. When I come here and talk, guys, this is not somebody who got a lot of money and just yapping off her mouth. This is somebody who have start from nothing, really, really poor, nothing in know some days, how we gonna eat. You understand? To understanding the feeling and what it does to you when you're not preparing yourself for you first, God first, then you, but then your family and what you're helping
Mhm.
to do and create and instill and teach and learn.
Okay.
That's where I come from.
Now he's saying, I have to define my goals like legacy building. My children should have the resources to succeed in the pandemic era we're in. Yes, the other thing is, um, everybody's goals are different. Coach
Right.
said that. So if that's your goal, then yes, that's how you should approach it.
Mhm.
Some of us have short term goals, some of us have long term goals, and they vary. But coach, we are way
Yes.
past our time, guys. We love you. We'll probably have to continue this conversation next Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah, it's a lot. When we're talking money, it's a really a deep dive because there's just so much area and so much aspect. So maybe all of August we're gonna talk money because a long time I haven't come in and do a big money dive. And I probably come in and do it, especially where we are right now. It's a good thing to know. It's fair, it's worry. It's for some people I'm good. Some people I'm like, I don't know what's the next thing to do. And how can I move from here? And I've had those paralyzing call, like, what's my next move? Don't give me the long term. Just tell me what's my next move or my next three moves.
Wow.
And I have to walk people through those next three moves. And there's no judgment. There's just here's where you are. Help me, Karen. And I'm like, okay, here's the next three things to do. Do this today, and then let's talk, and then you'll do this tomorrow. Because I'm never into the oh my God, this person should have. No, 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 no. This is where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
And
Don't
that's
feel no way. When I talk about money, it's always about just the money. And none to do with beating you up as a person or to make you feel bad.
we all
Never.
have money stories.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, 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 yes. So today we covered basic money management skills and not just acknowledging the money part of things, the flexibility and how you want to be, and diving into your passion. In August, we're gonna talk money. I'm probably gonna bring a little slides in to probably do a slideshow, so some kind of scale, just basic things so you can see.
This sounds like a plan. Oh, guys, we want to remind you that First Mondays is coming, and so we'll be in here with another subject matter expert during the First Money networking. We want to remind you that you need to connect with Coach Karen. She's on Facebook at Profits in Daily. You can also direct message her over on Messenger, but we want you to connect with her and share some of these nuggets. She has a private group. You can get in that group. You can ask questions. So we thank her for being so generous with her expertise and her time here on Biz Chicks. So we celebrate you, Coach Karen. And today is National Lipstick Day. Who knew? Lakeisha let me know that, and Lawana. And so I had to put a little lipstick on today.
Thanks, ladies.
Apologize to everybody. I'm out in my yard, and for some reason, the what do you call it, landscapers decided to come by with blowers. So that's why I had to keep muting myself. So I apologize, Coach. Can you hear them rumbling over there on the other side?
Good thing we know to roll with the flow.
Indeed. So we want to remind you guys to make sure that you connect with Coach Karen and take advantage of this. And in addition to that, we want to remind you, don't forget to go to the front of
your own line.
If you are looking to join Biz Chicks, let me put my little banner up here.
Yep.
Find it. We want you to
Text.
Biz to 23777.
There we go to put up the banner. She make a difference. She out. You know what happens sometimes when you're outside? It probably just kicked her out, so that's why she was outside. There she is. She's back.
It was too funny. I don't know what I moused over, but it kicked me out of the studio. How bizarre is that?
It is live on the internet.
Here's my banner. So
Yeah,
you
there you go.
want to join Biz Chicks, you can text 33777 and use the word biz when you send the text, and we'll know you want to join it. It'll send you to the sign up page. In the meantime, remember, don't forget to go to the front of your own line, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be talking happy, healthy habits with Robert
Shamiz.
Mizu and friends. Okay.